Good morning, broadcasters. 360 Seconds news and commentary for broadcast professionals is on the air. I'm Maria Kolarova from TKT. Let's discuss the latest technological news with our respected experts, Philip Grossman and Mary Seidler. Don't forget to give the program a like. Bridge Technologies will release an updated audio panel for their VB440 production probe. The enhancement offers comprehensive audio monitoring across unlimited flows, single-channel isolation, and compatibility with all Dolby standards, optimizing audio broadcasts in diverse production settings. So, Mary, tell me about this.
Well, this product is really useful for several different reasons. Number one, just from a practical standpoint, it gets rid of the need for multiple racks of equipment. So you've got a lot going on in a single piece of equipment. That and rack space, face it, we are all running out of rack space. It seems like we can never get enough. So this helps solve that problem. But let's talk about what it really solves. By having this single channel isolation, here's a good example. You can use it to figure out what the problem is on one channel. And you can also make sure that the monitoring is correct. Now, you could say, well, okay, I could just do this by looking at all the metering. And the president of this company had a great point. Yeah, you could look at all the metering and say everything looks fine. But what you wouldn't notice if you weren't listening on a single channel is that, let's say, for example, you're sending out French language commentary instead of the English language commentary. You're never going to be able to do that just by looking at metering. It also offers LUFS, it offers room metering, so it's got a lot in that. So it solves a lot of problems. You could also have up to 8 users using this at a specific period of time. So again, it doesn't just have to be one person. This means that not only for your technical people, but your producer, anyone like that could be listening just to make sure everything's okay. And believe me, I've been in plenty of situations. I like to think about this one where, oh my gosh, we were missing a whole channel of audio and in the wrong language, and we didn't know about it. So this would have solved my problem, and I'd probably have a lot less gray hair.
Yeah, I actually have a question. On the video side where I live, it's pretty easy. You either have a picture, you don't have a picture. You can see what's going on. In the audio world, are there a lot of products like this that help from the analysis? I mean, like you said, just looking at meters would only tell you that there's sound. It doesn't tell you if the sound is good. I can look at a picture. I can tell if the picture is good. So, what other products, or is this unique? Are there a lot of products in the industry like this?
I think these guys are in a pretty unique position. Now, there are other products that you could do single channel listening, but that's not what they're intended for. And to get to it, you have to go through a series of menus, and it doesn't always have the metering. So this combines two needs into one product. And I really haven't found anyone else who's doing what these guys are doing.
Okay, thanks.
All right, now moving on to Epiphan Video. Epiphan Video announced the release of Pro Firmware 4.20, introducing major upgrades to configuration presets. Users can now load presets directly from a USB drive, simplifying setup in new locations without peripherals or network access. The update also includes rebranding to Epiphan Edge, enhanced video file size support, and improved user experience. Peter.
Yeah, so it's interesting that there are more and more companies providing this kind of, we'll call it, streaming tech to the general population. General meaning the professional population, so corporate America. So it's interesting that they're working towards making things easier, adding the USB to it, becoming a bigger player. A lot of them are Atem and Blackmagic, and here's a new player. So I think we're going to probably see a lot of new players doing sort of similar to this. So it's interesting to see them, sort of doing the rebranding, organizing things, getting ready for IBC. So it'll be interesting to see where they go.
And Mary, I know again you're from the audio side, but do you have anything?
No, I'm just an audio person, and so on this I'm going to defer to Philip.
All right, for our last minute or so, we're briefly moving on to Hitachi. Hitachi Kokusai Electric Comark introduces the EC600 VHF compact series, high efficiency air-cooled DTV transmitters. with up to 4.6 kilowatt output. The design features the Exact V2 digital TV exciter, 40% efficiency amplifiers, and is optimized for current and future ATSC 3.0 SFN systems. Philip, that was a lot of words.
Yeah. So one of the things that's interesting to see is that a lot of the manufacturers, especially, there's still a lot of over-the-air broadcasts. It's mandated in the U.S., I believe in Europe as well, that everybody's starting to look at the efficiency and reducing the electrical cost. I mean, part of it obviously is for the environment, but I think it's also a lot because electricity is expensive, and this is just reducing the overall operational costs as budgets get shrunk and, revenues from commercials seem to wane a little bit. This every little bit helps, and by building out, as we're making this transition to ATSC 3.0, this will just help even more.
All right, well, that's all the time we have today. Many thanks to our experts, Philip and Mary. Philip, I'm sorry for calling you Peter. And don't
That's
forget
all right.
to comment on the news that we've discussed. See you next Monday at the same time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.